These are the Simpsons Series 5 bust-ups. Series 5 was also known as the Valentines series. They were released by Gentle Giant back in 2007. This is the complete set. Got quite simple packaging. We've got an image on the front here, which is actually the figure that we get inside. Some basic details on the back there, made in China, warning, choking hazard, all of that sort of stuff. A little bit of information on the side here about the McFarlane's Simpsons figures. Simpsons logo on the bottom, Bust Ups logo on the top, and some images of the figures that we actually get in this set, which is the Ralph, the Skinner and Krabappel, the Homer and Marge, and the Itchy and Scratchy doing what Itchy and Scratchy do, which is killing. Yeah, so very simple packaging, not a huge amount to them. If you don't know what bust-ups are, they're small figures that you assemble yourself. So I'm going to work my way through these, and we're going to start off with Ralph. So move those out of the way and get this box open. So, alright, inside the packaging, this is what we get. So we've got the small Ralph figure here with the card. We've got parts of his desk, his chair, and a small base. So, get these open. And move my camera a little bit. So there's no instructions on how this goes together, but it seems quite obvious. I say it seems quite obvious, but don't know for certain yet. So there's a small difference in the way these table legs go in, so it might make more sense to put them in first. And one problem with small things like this is that I do have actually quite large hands, so I can struggle with some of this stuff sometimes. Right. That's quite a tight fit. And the small Valentine's card, the I choose you card, it goes in there. So the details on this are actually quite good. You can make out the words on the Valentine's Day card there. Hopefully it's in focus good enough. But put him on his base, and there we have it, complete Ralph figure. So the actual likeness to Ralph is pretty good here. They've captured the look of him really well. The details on this are good, with the scissors and the glue paste and all of that on his desk. The general look of it. He doesn't like to sit on that chair very well, but other than that, it's a very nice little piece. So next up will be the Skinner and Mrs Krabappel. So next up is the Skinner and Mrs Krabappel bust up. So get the box open and see how many pieces there are to this one. This one seems to have a lot more than the Ralph one. So we've got the Skinner figure there, quite smaller than the Ralph figure, so they're not all to the same scale. Mrs Krabappel, got a mop and a bucket and the base to it and the walls. So there's quite a lot to put together on this one. So get this one open. And all the parts tipped out. So here's all the bits. I don't quite know which is the best order to put this one together. So we've got the base here. This seems to be the back. Got the sides. And there are some small tabs on these bits so you can see what's the best way to go. And the door. This one's definitely a bit more complex compared to the Ralph Wiggam one. There we go. Right, there we are. Some nice snaps there. So it all pops into place. And the ceiling piece so it can all hold together. There we go. Oh, maybe I did this in the wrong order. Get that. Alright. Yeah, definitely a bit more awkward than the Ralph one. So there's the Skinner and his head. Let's see how these fit together. I have to check this picture. Alright, okay. It's quite tricky because they've got to be in so close. It's not too easy to get them in position. Right. So that's them. Right, so this is definitely the most awkward out of the, well, out of the ones I've done so far. But there it is. Took a bit of work, but there we have it. And the door shuts. So having a quick look around, you can sort of make out in these gaps here that something's going on there, and then open up the door and oh my, what are they doing? Yep, so there they are. Right, so there it is complete. It's definitely the most difficult one so far. Although once all together it looks quite good. I think out of the four of them this is probably the most risky of the four, I suppose. Definitely a lot of pieces to it. I like the way with these little gaps you can make out that something's going on in there, so you can actually have it sitting at some different angles if you really wanted to. Although I think out of all of the angles the best one will definitely be looking at it from head on. There's some nice detail here. Got some nice detail to it. Considering these are meant to be like the Valentine series, it would have actually been better if on the calendar there it said like February, it was February 14th instead of July. But there we have it anyway. That is the Edna Crabapple and Principal Skinner bust up. Right, so far from the Simpsons Series 5 Valentine's series, we've had the Ralph Wiggam and also the Mrs Krabappel and Seymour Skinner bust-ups. I'm going to split this video into two parts to avoid it from becoming too long. So if you'd like to continue on with the Homer and Marge and the one I'm looking forward to the most, the Itchy and Scratchy figure, there should be a link here. If you click on that link, it will take you to part 2. So thank you for watching so far, and hopefully you'll join me in the next part. Bye bye.